There we go. We're recording. The tape is rolling. I can see it moving from reel to reel, so I think that means we're good.
Oh, good. Okay.
Yep.
The wax cylinder has started spinning.
Yep. And
Watson, come here. I need you.
All we have left is to hit a few buttons. So here we go. In 3, 2, 1.
Pizza rolls are the devil's pus pockets. They're the most deceptive little food in the world. You can pick it up and hold it, but the second you bite into it, you burn every cell on the inside of your mouth. Not even hungry now. Bastards.
$1 million a lot of damn money.
This is the morning stream, and I feel fine.
Good morning, everybody. Welcome to TMS, the morning stream for Tuesday, December 1st, 2020. We are done with that rancid November month. We're done with it.
Things will finally start to be good again.
Yeah.
Because it's December.
Yep. Yeah. Once November ends, that's how that song goes. November rain, once it ends, you'll all be happy again. See, I got it. That's the words.
Wow. This is almost like Axl Rose was right here.
Yeah, it's like you're in concert and you just heard them on stage do the entire song, and it's impressive as hell, and you know it, so admit it. Anyway, it was a fantastic month, but hey, we're moving on. It's time for a new month, and that means a new month of TMS. So welcome to the Christmas month known as December.
That's right. I feel like it's beginning to look a lot like Christmas around here.
Yeah? You guys decorate and stuff?
A tree.
Oh, tell me more. What happened with the tree? What'd you guys do?
Well, okay, so we had a... We're fake tree people. Fake tree.
Me too. I'm all about that.
And it's, there are things I really, really like about a real tree. And there's really nothing I don't like about a real tree except maybe cleaning up needles. And it's really nothing to do with that. It's just, we like the ability to pop it up on a moment's notice, not have to go into the woods, cut something down, or go to a tree place and pick up a tree and get needles all over our car or whatever. But
you ever done the thing where you go to the woods and cut one down like the
not me, but Tina has. That was
okay.
That was the norm de rigueur for Tina and her family growing up, is that they would go.
That sounds like fun. We never did that. Never a thing we did. So
Oh really? Yeah. I always just imagined it was just like the National Lampoon's Christmas vacation experience.
Yeah, we were fake tree people, but I'm guessing some of those fake trees that we had growing up maybe more asbestos than you'd like. I'm not sure.
right. Yes. Somehow they managed to get lead paint onto a fake Christmas tree.
Yeah, you never know. Anyway.
So, but Tina, we've had one for a while, and this year Tina said, well, I think I want to replace it because it's the limbs are starting to get really weirdly twisted and bent, and a couple of them don't fold down the way I like. So I'm just going to go out and buy a new one. Like, oh, okay, cool. Now, when you see those photos of people who go to the woods and cut down their own tree, and they have to get the tree on top of the car, but they can't just have like all the branches sticking out. So it looks like, they just basically take rope and they bundle down the tree to where it's like this little thin sliver of an arrow of a tree.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. Like a little Griswold style on top of your station wagon kind of thing. Sure.
Exactly.
Yeah.
That's what the tree Tina bought looks like when it's unfolded.
Oh,
that little sliver, it looks like a green peen, like a pine peen.
Okay. So there's a particular sort of knobby point to the thing, and
I wouldn't say it's a circumcised tree, but it's
gotcha. Okay, all right.
But it looks like the tree that you get before you cut the twine and let the branches all spread out.
Gotcha. Okay, sure. It's all mushed down.
And I've been giving Tina a hard time about it ever since she set it up because she thinks it's funny too, but I think it's really funny. And so this is the model it's made for the single bachelor living in a studio apartment who just wants to say, yeah, I'm good with Christmas, but go ahead and take your clothes off and let's go to the other room.
Yeah, that's basically it. Hold on. Where do you guys procure your fake tree?
I don't know where she bought it. I think she bought it at Kohl's or I would bet that she bought it at Kohl's.
Okay, because we got a new fake tree a couple years ago. It's been probably 2018, I think, and still using it. That's what's up now. And I'm pretty sure we got it on Amazon. And that was a weird box to get because
it's huge.
It's gigantic. And it's they even with it broken down into sections because it's got it's a 3-tiered effect.
Yes. Yeah, you assemble it. Yep.
Even that way, it was this gigantic, monstrous box, and the UPS guy didn't look happy at all about it.
I think that might have also factored into Tina's decision is with the old tree, we had this big box that we had to get out of the storage space underneath the stairs, go around 2 corners. The thing was held together with actual tinsel that we weren't using because the box was starting to come apart.
Okay.
And so instead of taping it or making some sort of new fastening device for the last 5 years, we've just had tinsel or garland, I should say, plastic garland wrapped around the box, holding the box closed.
I was going to say that's some high tinsel that you were using before.
Oh, I see what you did there.
Got a good word usage there, but yeah, I guess the plastic holly will hold together your tree. Okay, I guess.
Yes, exactly. That's what we're having to use. So,
do you hate getting it out? I mean, getting it out every year is a huge pain too. It's okay, where is
really
that?
Is. And this box is obviously a lot smaller, so it's going to be a lot easier to get in and out. But I don't know. I kind of want to go to the forest. Instead of cutting down a tree, I just want to cut some branches off a tree and jam them into the side of our tree to make it look more like a
just to fill it out,
give it some tree,
give it some give it that tree-like quality.
yeah, exactly.
Do people still recommend against real trees because they get dry real quick and can be a fire thing? Is that still a thing with LEDs, or is that no longer a worry?
I think with LEDs they're not as big an issue, and as long as you have one of those bases that has a water reservoir in it and you keep the water reservoir full and you don't have a dog that comes over and drinks all the water out of the water reservoir.
Yeah, drinking all your pine water.
Drinking your pine water, tree water, drink that tree water. Then you're just totally fine. My neighbors kept a tree. They have 2 trees, and they always go real trees. One on their main level, and then one in the basement. The one in the basement's decorated with a bunch of Packer stuff, and then the one in the main is more traditional.
Right.
And the one in the basement, they actually kept going all the way through April last year, just by keeping the water reservoir topped off and keeping that thing
Did
healthy.
they keep it decorated and everything?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Oh
Sure.
my gosh! Wow, April. That's crazy.
April.
That was a pre-COVID tree, a COVID tree, and a post-COVID
That's
tree.
right. It's right. Exactly. That tree lasted
Really did well
through the dawn of COVID coming across the ocean.
That's impressive. Wow. All right. Well, so yeah, Christmas trees. When I was a kid, I used to be fascinated by them. I used to think, this is the greatest monument to the holiday there can be. And now, unless somebody else is doing all the hard work, I just see them as a pain in the A.
I know there's some great pagan story behind putting the tree in our houses, but the people who decided to do that, I mean, they're saying, oh, this thing will be just such a beautiful monument to our holiday.
Yeah.
This will be such a great example. Let's cut it out of the ground, kill it, and bring it into the house.
Oh yeah. Yeah, let's let it get all its freaking needles everywhere. Let's have it dry out all nasty. Let's not feel like doing anything with it until February at the latest or earliest.
Right.
Then let's put it out on the curb for someone else to deal with. It's just a funny thing. It's a funny thing. We get one, we use it, and then we throw it out.
Oh, yeah, no, not Tina. Basically, with Tina, on Christmas Day, as the last people who are coming over to her house are leaving, they're putting on their jackets. Tina's got the box out and she's taking ornaments off the tree to go put it away.
Oh, man.
It's she may leave it up longer this year, but man, she is quick to take that thing down.
So it usually comes that way too, but this year's weird. Like I said, she put it up on the 1st of November, so we've already had our tree up fully decorated for a month, and we're not even. I mean, we're just getting started on December, so I don't know what that'll mean at the end. I mean, usually she's like, "All right, that's it. Everybody go home. Nothing to see here," and she'll tear everything down.
Yeah.
But maybe this year, I don't know. Maybe she'll let it linger. Like a fart in the night. Let it ring.
So,
linger.
This isn't something I put in the show notes that I want to discuss, but we're talking about keeping it up and celebrating, just kind of keeping some good vibes going for longer because of COVID and the pandemic.
Sure.
Dawned on me thinking about this yesterday with the vaccines that we're getting. and this would almost be a question for Bobby if Bobby were on today, but I guess it's less of a science question and more of a society question.
Okay.
Pretty soon, vaccines are going to start to roll out. We're going to get the essential workers and doctors and nurses on the front lines taken care of first, and then people who take care of kids and elderly and nursing home workers and things like that. So there's going to be lots of time over the next several months before everybody's vaccinated. You and I are under 65, so we're probably not going to see a vaccine until May or June.
Probably. That'd be my guess.
Relatively healthy. Yeah. Under 65, we're going to be last on the list.
Yeah.
How are we going to, as a society, figure out a way that the people who've been vaccinated can start to do the things again that we all can't do?
Yeah.
And be identifiable. Like, do we, you know what I'm saying? So like, let's say you've got Nurse Barb, because my Aunt Barb is a nurse. I'm going to call her Nurse Barb.
Sure.
She gets the vaccine. She's now able to go to restaurants or go this and not wear a mask and stuff like that. How does she identify herself to say, no, I've gotten the vaccine, without just constantly going, I've had the vaccine, I've had the vaccine, I've had the vaccine?
This is interesting. Does she wear like an armband? Do
we have a ribbon or an armband or a
people freak out about
like an I voted sticker, but I vaccinated sticker?
Yeah. And even then, what does it prove? You know what I mean? Like,
right. Yeah. Anybody can get one of those. Yeah.
I don't know the answer to that. That's a really interesting question. I don't know if there's an orderly way to do it, because I would want that also. I would want a organized approach, a top-down approach where it's like, okay, the vaccine has traveled through here and here and here. But the problem is you're going to have a billion outliers all the time. Mm-hmm. Some homeless guy that never got anything, and he's just under a viaduct somewhere, and he came in contact with a dog, and the dog coughed on a guy, or whatever. I'm not saying dogs can transmit it, but whatever. My point is, like, if I don't think there's a way. I think it's untenable with the number of people we're talking about.
Yeah, I don't know how you do it, but we're going to have a long period of time where there are going to be some people who are vaccinated, some people who aren't, and the people who are vaccinated are going to want to go back and do the things that they can do.
Well, they should be able to anyway, right? The problem is for all the unvaccinated, the unclean, the unwashed.
The unwashed masses.
Yeah.
Yes, exactly.
We're not going to know.
Yeah.
So we don't know if, I mean, maybe that's it can't be entirely the answer, because it's already not the answer. But because people who, they're people that just have to be out in the public working. Mm-hmm. So maybe there's no way to really do this, but it would be great if it was fast enough that the people out doing all the normal groupie things have the vaccine, and that's how you know. And then the more people get it, the more they're added to the group, and the more they get out there. I don't know. I don't freaking know how you do this. Mm-hmm. There got to be smarter people than us, though, that have a plan. Probably not currently.
Yeah. Truman Fu says, well, yeah, people who are vaccinated can still spread it. Or can they? If they're... Can
you be a carrier?
Yeah, that is a good question.
I mean, you can have it on your hand.
So Bobby Franks is saying the vaccinated people might still be able to transmit the virus. That's still an open question.
Yeah.
So interesting. Okay.
Plus, even just from a physicality, if you have it on your hand from touching a doorknob and you're vaccinated, you're not catching it, you're still pressing down on the toilet thing, and now you've possibly given it to the next guy who touches it.
Right.
So that's true, or possible. Yeah, I don't know, man. That's a really great question.
Yeah.
I don't know how they do it. Like they didn't have vaccines in 1918, so they just let that kill millions and millions of people and just let it have its way with us, right? Yeah. And then in this case, case, we can do this big mitigation factor, but at the same time, it's still probably going to mean a slow integration. I don't know. Mm-hmm. I haven't given it any thought till you said that. That's crazy thought.
I didn't catch who said it, but somebody said an app on the phone, and maybe there's like a QR code that links to basically it's an auto-generated thing like your Starbucks payment that keeps changing, or an authenticator. So it can't be like, oh, I'll just take a picture of it. I'll just take a picture of my QR code and it'll
Yeah, but then everybody would have to have the app, and
Yeah.
and not only that, then you're dealing with entire swaths of communities who can't afford phones,
Well,
who don't have
exactly,
access to
and
that
you're
stuff.
you're still having people say, "Hey, how come you're not wearing a mask?" Well, I've got the vaccine. Prove it. Oh, let me get out my phone. Let me open the app.
Yeah.
I'm in the middle of a Pokemon raid. Can we wait? Can we do it in a minute?
I mean, I would be. Here's the truth that I don't think anyone wants to say, but I have a truth I'd like to share.
Mm-hmm.
After being in China back in, I don't know, whatever that was, 2000 and whatever it was, everybody wore masks, and it was because they are used to having outbreaks and things, but they also just wore them now as a thing. Now, I'm not saying I want to wear it everywhere. I'm not saying I want my whole life to be masked in public and then otherwise not. That's not what I'm saying. Mm-hmm. But I wouldn't mind it if there was a little more mask usage during flu season, during
Sure.
Other stuff. What's the problem on public transit if you're all crammed in there and people wearing a mask? There's no reason why we can't continue some of that precautionary
Especially.
sort of stuff so that we don't, if you're feeling down and a little sick or whatever, put on a mask, get on the train. Maybe, just maybe, you didn't give it to an old person who's going to have pneumonia for 3 weeks. You know what I mean?
I'm totally with you. And we, the other aspect Tina and I were talking about with the masks that we kind of like, in Colorado, it gets pretty dang cold, as it does in Utah, as it does in a lot of the country this time of year. And the masks are, man, it's like it keeps half of your face nice and warm. We went to a German Christmas festival with Tanner and Alex. They were in town. Decided not to let them stay with us. We basically changed our whole Thanksgiving weekend thing, saying, you know what, having people staying here with us, having people come over for Thanksgiving, we canceled having Tristan and Kay come over and all that.
Yeah.
So basically we just said, we're making food bundles. The kids came and picked theirs up, took them back home, pre-cooked, everything cooked. All they have to do is just lay it out on a table and eat it. Same for my mom, made her some as well. So we changed all that, but we still wanted to see Tanner and Alex while they were in town. So we went to the German Christmas Festival in downtown Denver, which is this gated off thing. They're only letting, small numbers of people, and there's these big, these lines because everybody's social distance. It's like really long lines that normally would be a lot shorter looking, because they're only letting certain number of people in there, and we were far enough from everybody almost the whole time that felt really.
You were telling us how you guys got there early, so you probably beat these horrific.
We
lines.
totally beat the lines. Yeah, we looked back and the lines were like down the park.
Yeah.
But one of our first stops, we come to this little vendor guy who has all of these jars of honey in front of him.
He's a German vendor guy. Just curious.
No.
Dang it! Because you say little vendor guy, I just want a little. Yeah, what?
No.
You try come on to try my honey. It's very good, yeah. Like that.
No, but I did buy some Black Forest cake from a little German vendor.
Oh, that's
and
great.
he was the real deal, man. Oh, thank you for coming. We just don't get so many people here this year, and we need more people. Come back, bring your friends, buy more Black Forest cake.
I love the Germans.
Yeah. Anyway, so this first guy, the honey guy, Tina's like, oh, actually, we need some honey. She puts honey in her tea all the time. Yeah. Delicious Phoenix Pearl tea, honey, or Phoenix Pearl tea with honey.
With honey.
She, we're like, all right, well, let's see what he's got. And then the guy goes into a spiel. Well, all right, if you're looking for the health benefits of local natural honey, all of these honeys are produced here in Colorado in a spot between Golden and Boulder. It's like, oh, we live between Golden and Boulder. That's great. So we get the local bees, the benefits of the bees in your biome, and whatever, not antioxidants, but the things that are good for you that that can come from making sure you get honey from your area,
from your own bees. Exactly.
Your own bees. We got our own bees.
Yeah.
And so he's saying, oh, well, this one here is made with whiskey. I'm like, oh yeah, cool. Sign me up. This one has a vanilla stick in it, and all that vanilla kind of spreads out into the honey. And oh yeah, and we got this one, and we got this one. And so Tina's like, and he says, all right, if you buy 3, we'll give you the 4th one for free. Tina's like, oh, that's kind of cool. All right, so she's like, let's get the whiskey one, let's get the vanilla one, let's get a jar of the regular, and then we'll get this other thing. And he's like, all right, cool. All right, let me start on this up. And he pulls out his iPad. He's going do 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 do, and I'll make the most expensive one the one you get for free. We're like, oh, cool, thanks.
Yeah.
And he says, all right, so we take off the $30. All right, so it's going to be $120.85.
Oh my Lord!
For 3 jars of honey.
Wow, those are expensive
Gina's
bees. Yeah.
Gina's like, what? You know what? I'll just take the jar of the vanilla honey and we'll call it good.
Wow, that's a lot.
Yeah.
Why though? I mean,
I don't know. Are they paying each bee? Like, do they?
That's expensive bee vomit right there. Wow.
That is really expensive bee vomit. So
I expect to pay, like, $10, $12 on the high end for honey.
Yeah.
100 and something. No, that better
Nope.
be
120
real
for
gold.
3 jars.
Yeah, that better be from the most famous bee. That better be from.
that better come out of ant bee.
Yeah, ant bee better excrete that liquidy goo.
Andy, I'm gonna go in the bathroom and keep the door closed so that Opie doesn't come in. I'm gonna be vomiting up some honey.
Yeah, you keep a
made a
tight
nice
lid
pie.
on
It's
that
on the
ant bee.
counter.
Then you have Barney come around. Oh, you got any more of that honey? Andy!
Let's just one of these days we'll just take an Andy Griffith show,
Yeah.
and we'll cut the sound out and we'll do our own voices for the whole thing.
Got it. Nailed it. Let's do it.
Perfect.
Well, anyway, that sounds like fun. So I want your honey, even though it's ridiculously expensive. It sounds
Yeah,
lovely.
the vanilla stuff. We're surprised at how little vanilla flavor it's got for having a full on. And those vanilla beans are expensive. The jar of those at the store costs you about $10 to $12.
Yeah. We just bought some honey as well, but we bought these little bottles of it, or Carter did, I should say. She loves this stuff. And one's really light. It's almost like a rainbow of golden colors. Really light down to really dark. And then it explains on each one why this is lighter, this is slightly darker or whatever. And I can't remember all the reasons, but the dark one just looked like ground up honeybees. I don't want it. Not interested.
Yeah.
Give me the light one, man. And even then, don't remind me where it comes from. I don't want to
Right.
think about all these bees freaking shitting out this stuff and me eating it. Like, I can't. Bees and I have a weird relationship. I know that they're crucial for the ecosystem. They matter. Honey tastes amazing. I get it. Whoever discovered that, whatever caveman or whoever was like, tried bee.
Let's try
today.
this. Ow, it hurts, but it tastes really good.
But it tastes
Ow,
amazing,
ow.
but I keep getting stung. Right. Whatever ancient experiment happened where that, good on that guy, well done. But man, just think about what we're eating. It's just weird.
You can boil it all down though, Scott. I mean, all right, so you're getting the milk you drink or drank before you switch to almond milk.
I get a milky
It's
drink.
a guy yanking. Huh? What's that?
I started doing the. What's their names?
Soy milk or
Give
whatever.
me the milky drink. Give the lager drink. Give them a thing of drink.
Oh, the whiskey drink, the little
Those
chumbawamba.
guys, that's what it reminded me of. Anyway,
Yes.
Go ahead.
But I mean, there's a guy yanking on a cow, on the bottom of a cow, to make the milk that you drink.
See, that's also weird. It's so weird.
They're butchering a pig for that slice of bacon, that delicious, delicious bacon that you're having. I mean, you could boil everything down to kind of being gross when you think about where it comes from, except for plants and fruit and vegetables.
Even then, like.
I'm using animal poop to grow this delicious cucumber.
Yeah, you know what? You're making a good point. I mean, it's a good point, and I need to quit being so precious about it. But specifically bees, because I guess I have trouble with insects generally. And
yeah, but if you think about it as actual vomit, like, oh, I'm not feeling well, time to make some more honey.
Right. It's not exactly
By the way, we
same.
did just watch the episode of Fargo with the robbery.
Oh,
and
with the pie, dude. The post-pie robbery.
The post-pie robbery.
Dude, I wish I could.
That was some rough business.
I wish I was going through this series for the first time again. It's so good. The finale dropped. I'm watching it today, but where that, and by the way, where those ladies end up, you're going to.
Oh, really? Okay.
Oh, it's so good. It's so good. But yeah, the bad pie from what's her name is a rough piece of business.
Oh man, yeah. I'm with you too on that character. That actress is great.
She's so good. She's
Oleta,
so good.
no, what's her name? Her character name?
Odetta. No, Oleta.
Oretta Mayflower.
Oretta Mayflower. That's it.
Or June.
Yeah. Yeah. Either one. She's killing it though, man. She's so.
Yeah, Jessie Buckley, man, she is awesome.
Yeah.
I now want to watch everything that Irish Jessie Buckley is in with her Fargo accent.
Started to like all the Irish actors that are working today, like Queen Maeve on.
Oh yeah, on
she's Irish.
The boys.
More Irish people, I say. I think the Irish are killing it. It's not just what's his name anymore. I can't think of names today. Dude, what was in the phone booth? Can't think of his name.
Colin Farrell.
Colin Farrell. It's not all just Colin Farrell. We got all sorts of Irish coming around.
No, I mean prior to the 90s, really all we had was Lucky the Leprechaun on our box of Lucky Charms.
Yeah, that was it.
That was our only.
Yeah, for the entire 80s. Like, we had Lucky the Leprechaun. For Australians, we had Paul Hogan.
That's all we had.
Yeah.
So sheltered in our lives.
Yeah.
Yes.
For Japan, who do we have? We had... I can't think of anyone. But, we had this limited stuff. And now it's great. So more Irish is what I'm saying. Yeah. Bring it on. Quick email from Jeff Sire up in the northern part of Canada. Well, all of it's north of us. But anyway, he sent this in. And says, Scott and Brian, on Wednesday's show, this is back last Wednesday, you both referred to the term eunuch and said that the wiener was removed. Did we both say that? I know I did, but I can't remember if
I
you
think
did.
I did too. I can't remember.
Says, my understanding of eunuchs is that they have been castrated versus a penectomy, i.e. the beans have been removed, but the frank is still in place. Not to be further confused with emasculation, where both the beans and the frank have been removed. Yours in Christ, Jeff Sire.
To be honest, I don't actually think either of us used the phrase eunuch, did we?
I think I may
I
have
think
said...
we just talked about Varys and his spiders and the fact that he's got no peen.
I may have said eunuch. I think I might have.
Okay.
Because I always, when I think of eunuchs, my immediate thought is, their junk's gone. But yeah. But didn't Varys say in Game of Thrones? Didn't he say out loud? Nothing. He has nothing. He may have used the C word, but
I'm as smooth as a Kendall down there.
My many spiders are out looking for me because I'm bored because I don't think about my wiener. I don't have it anymore, he says.
Yeah, I don't remember. I don't remember specifically what Varys has, but
no, I don't either. And it's a weird thing to even think about.
I know that what's his face? Oh, geez, can't remember his name. Holding the sausage when he was torturing Greyjoy, Theon.
His name is. It's the actor from that Marvel thing. He's also in this other stuff, and he played.
Yeah. He was on Misfits for a while. Anyway.
He was great on Misfits.
He
was the bastard, so he was the Battle of the Bastards, and he was. It's coming to me. But Bolton,
Ramsay Bolton.
Ramsay Bolton.
Thank you.
Jesus,
thank you.
Holy crap.
Got it before Baton.
I closed my eyes and did it, so take that.
Yes.
Chat
take
room.
that.
We're
anyway,
smart.
but that was some threat of penis removal there.
Yeah. Or did he? I think he did it.
I think he did, actually. He did, and that was the whole, rubbing it in, look at this sausage. Don't you wish you had one?
Still one of the greatest gifts the internet ever produced.
I think so, yes.
It's
the gift that keeps on gifting.
Yeah, it just gets gifts and gifts and gifts. All right. Well, we've done all we can do there. Thank you, Jeff Sire, by the way. Oh, did I lose you, Brian? What happened? You all right?
No, I'm still here.
Oh, you said, or something like that. I
didn't think I did.
Oh.
Did I?
You just made a sound where you went, and then you looked behind you as if something happened behind you.
I looked behind. I thought I heard some noise, like the cat was pulling on some, sharpening her claws on something, but I don't see her.
You definitely went, like that.
Did I really? Okay. I believe you, or said something and I cut it off, or I started to say something and I stopped. I don't know. But
that was funny. All right, now this.
Good morning, everybody. In the news this morning. Good morning.
All right, we got some news we got to talk about, and it's brought to you by.
Brought to you by Soundography. Going up today, brand new episode featuring Steely Dan. Speaking of those in other regions, yes, a band that's named after a steam-powered dildo from the Naked Lunch. We listened to their entire catalog, and what did we think? Did Hammond like it? Did Brian like it? We know Brian liked it. They're one of my favorite bands of all time. But What do we think? Coming up later today at soundography.com.
I like to assume that Hammond only likes it if the song goes on for 35 minutes.
That's pretty much it. Yeah.
Yeah. And that it's like just basically one long guitar solo. And then he's in.
That's right. This one's just not proggy enough for me, Brian.
He likes his prog.
Let me see if I can mention Dream Theater again.
Yeah. He likes his prog rock. He'd live in prog.
He does
if
like
he
his
could.
prog rock.
Yeah.
Yes.
All
He's
right.
making me listen to Slayer, by the way. We're doing Slayer.
Oh, how's that going for you so far? How do you feel about Slayer?
Spoiler alert.
Yeah.
I didn't think that there was one band that like I could find everything that I don't like in music all done by one band. But now with Slayer, I found it.
Wow.
I am not enjoying Slayer at all.
Interesting. I know he's
and
a
I like
fan.
heavy metal. I just don't like Slayer.
No.
And I know that there's gonna be some people out there who like Slayer, who are like, Brian, how could you not like Slayer? Listen, I liked Iron Maiden. I like what else have we done? We've done what else have we done metal wise? We've done some hardcore metal before, and for whatever reason, this is the toughest one for me to get
TV's
to.
Travis says they are atonal. Would you agree? Meaning just like one.
Yes.
Okay.
To me, it sounds like a bunch of different people all trying to outplay or outsing each other volume wise. Like, oh, you're gonna go that loud? I can play the drums this loud. Oh, I can play the guitar this loud. I can scream this loud.
Megadeth is the band you did before. Megadeth, right?
Megadeth we've done, yes. Megadeth, and I was fine with Megadeth. I enjoyed some Megadeth. I enjoyed Iron Maiden. I am not liking Slayer.
Chad asks rightly, I think, do we know any Slayer songs? I don't. I couldn't name a Slayer song. The one where they're pissed and it's all about the dragons.
Yeah,
I don't know.
The one where they're angry and sound angry.
Yeah, that's the one.
Rain and Blood. Yeah, Rain and Blood is probably their biggest hit.
Rain like a king.
Rain, R-E-I-G-N, yeah.
Gotcha. All right. Well, moving on.
Anyway,
let's talk about Joe Exotic for a minute.
Yes.
You may remember him. Yeah, he was all the rage at the beginning of this pandemic. Joe Exotic reportedly spent $10,000 of his own hard-earned money. I said that without laughing. In a Trump hotel, hoping for, wait for it, a presidential pardon. I don't know how he did this because he's in jail, but anyway.
Yeah, right.
This is weird. I guess he was trying to. Well, I guess we'll find out. Representatives for Joe Exotic reportedly ran up a $10,000 bill at one of Donald Trump's hotels as part of a campaign to persuade the president to pardon him. Joe Exotic and his representatives have been running an extensive campaign to get him to pardon the Tiger King star. They just repeated themselves. That's weird. Exotic was convicted in 2019 on 2 counts of murder for hire for plotting to kill his nemesis, the Big Cat Rescue owner, Carol Baskin.
Who totally killed her husband.
I waited for that, and you right on cue, Brian did it. That's great. It says also he was busted for 8 counts of violating the Lacey Act for falsifying wildlife records and 9 counts of violating the Endangered Species Act. He was sentenced to 22 years in prison on January 22nd last year. How ironic, 22nd, 22 years.
Yes.
According to the representative, or his representative, Eric Love, Exotic's legal team have been corresponding with the officials in Washington, D.C. in connection with arranging a pardon from Trump. His representatives have been chasing a pardon since April of 2020 when a coronavirus briefing, Trump suggested that he would, quote, take a look, unquote, into the Oklahoma Zoo's owner's case. I remember that. Somebody said at a press conference, hey, would you pardon Joe Exotic?
Yeah.
It was almost like a joke, and toward the end of the thing, and he goes, I don't think he knew who he was talking about.
No, and he's like, oh, I'll have to consider it.
I'll think about it.
I'll have to look into that.
Yeah. So this isn't going to happen, in my opinion, but whatever.
No.
Part of the campaign for a pardon also included sending thousands of dollars to a Trump-owned hotel in an attempt to get the president's attention. Some might call that a bribe.
Yeah.
I mean, they're going to call it what they want in this article, but I'd call that an attempt at bribing
pretty
somebody.
much a bribe. Yeah, exactly.
An anonymous organizer told the publication that Exotic's team had spent around $10,000 during a visit to the Trump International Hotel in Washington, D.C.
Oh, so this wasn't the Trump Tower in New York. This is the...
No. This is the DC one. I guess the DC one is. I wonder how that's going. Because there was talk that some of those hotels were struggling, and that the DC one was the only one doing okay. I have no idea. I'm speaking out of my arse here because I don't actually know.
It's just a funny thing to consider. Like, you know what? I'll go ahead and do that for you, Joe. I'll go spend $10,000 in a hotel. Let's see, spa, manicure, steaks with every meal. For dessert, another steak. Okay, cool. You know, basically, like the lucky guy or guys or the team that gets to go there and say, all right, our job is to spend $10,000 of Joe Exotic's money at this hotel.
What a rough gig to have just to go spend this.
Yeah,
it's like
exactly.
Brewster's Millions, Brewster's Thousands. That's what this
Brewster's
is.
Thousands. Does anybody need me to go do that for them for Vegas? Like they'd really like me to rack up some points, some player points for them. Just let me know. I'll do it for you.
Brian would
Whatever you
totally
want.
do that for you. I
In a
almost.
heartbeat.
Did I tell you that we were this close, like a cat's hair away from driving to Vegas one day while we were gone. It's only an hour away from St. George. And we were just going to go and drive up and down the strip and just kind of just see and hang out and maybe get takeout somewhere. That was our plan.
I know what you were going to do. You were going to you were going to send me live video and go, Brian, look where I am.
That would have been the main thing, yes.
Yeah, exactly.
That is honestly my main motivator, which wasn't enough, it turns out. Like, gosh, owning Brian is not enough for us to do this.
It would totally pwn me, Scott.
Yeah.
I would have been pwned.
If they were 10 minutes away, we'd have done it. No problem. An hour and a half, hour,
That's a little
like,
tougher.
give or
A little
take.
tougher to pull
Plus,
off.
I was busy putting up that monolith in the middle of the desert. I didn't have all the time.
Yeah, you didn't have all the time, right? I mean, there's
I've
digging
let it
involved.
spill. I've
there's-
said the truth. Oh, no.
Oh, dang it!
What now? I'm going to have to atone for my monolith.
Have you contacted your your local artist friend, and asked if he, by chance, was involved with the monolith situation?
I did, and I have not heard back. So I could take that as a little something.
Yeah, absolutely. That seems like confirmation for me.
Yeah. Well, now that it's torn down, there's this new one that popped up in Romania out in the middle of the field. Looks exactly the same.
I know.
So this is a bigger punk than
The plot thickens.
Yeah.
Yes.
They're doing it on a grander scale, or someone copycatted the hell out of it, which is probably what happened. And then I don't know if you saw this. I don't have
It's
it here
a quick
to show.
copycat to do, right?
Oh yeah, it's super fast.
Yeah.
Or maybe they'd planned to do it forever, and then they just got lucky that the other one got pulled out the day before they showed theirs. I don't know, but what was I going to say? Forgot. Can't remember now. Something was interesting.
Romania monolith.
Can't remember.
Driving up and down the strip in Vegas, St. George.
Can't remember. It was something about
One
the
of the best
monolith.
Taco Bell in the world.
Something about the monolith. Oh, somebody made a video. So they went down there to see it. I was talking about them yesterday. The people that claimed to have driven for 15 hours and then got there and it was gone. Right. They pulled their own prank, clearly, because I don't believe in stupid shit. They get down there and there's these two girls like at the base of where it was torn out, and the guy's filming, and behind them in a rock crevice is this little like Babadook looking creature, but you don't notice it the first time you watch it, but then a bunch of people did, and then you zoom into it and it's got little black fingers coming around the rock, and you see his little white eyes, his little grinny white face.
Really? You need to send me that.
I will. And it's weird looking, obviously, but they totally staged it because
yes, of course,
people are weird and funny and whatever. But man, that thing, what a weird way to end 2020. All this freaking monolith crap, and having it start here is just, well, it's a real treat, Brian. It's a treat.
You know what? I'm intrigued now by the ever moving monolith. I'd like to see where it goes next on its world tour.
Yeah.
Maybe this is how the time travelers have come back.
Could be.
And maybe COVID was the prevention of some other more world-changing epidemic. The only way that we're going to be able to stop this other issue is to create a pandemic where at least we get half of the people to stay in their houses.
Yeah, maybe that's it. It's a good point. Maybe this was their trick. Oh, someone sent this video. All right, so.
Is this it? Okay, cool.
The Captain Kipper one.
I'm going to click on the Captain Kipper one.
There it is in the background.
Geez, look at that dude.
All right, so if you look at the original video, it's it's less. It's not even obvious. Like, it took me forever to even see it. And that's, if you scroll down, you can see it.
There's the TikTok creature.
I'll hit play.
Oh, here's the video. I found
Drove
the video.
15 hours just to find out the monolith's not even here anymore.
Look behind the girls.
Okay, and then that guy notices it. But if you look at it, it's this little, little creature.
Yeah, this the
it
video is
moves.
not playing on the Deseret News site.
Oh, it's not? Oh, it worked on mine. Weird.
Yeah, that's weird.
Yeah, it's freaking people out, but they freaking staged
To
it.
reload without content blockers.
This is what you get when you stage things, by the way. You stage. When you stage something, it looks like it happened, but it didn't happen because they staged it.
Exit stage left.
Yeah, but what's good about the full motion is, like, in the screenshot, it just looks like a Muppet or something back there.
Yeah.
In the full motion, though, it is creepy. The hands are like coming around there, and it's just like a weird, creepy moment. But it's all bullcrap.
Huh.
All right. This is pretty funny. I like this story.
All right. Okay.
And we'll check back in on Joe Exotic's plan for spending $10,000 to try to get out of prison. It's not going to happen, but we'll keep
more news as the situation develops.
Yeah, we'll keep our eye on this, and just like we always do, we're bringing the latest and breaking. Okay, here we go. Taiwanese man sold his PlayStation 5. So Brian, here's another guy with a PlayStation 5, and you don't have one. Okay.
Oh, why didn't you sell it to me? Sell it to me.
Taiwanese man sold his PS5 after his wife finds out it wasn't an air purifier. I love
Why
this
is
story.
that air purifier so huge?
I love this story. All right, because
that sounds like something that I might do. Like, no, hon, it's an air purifier. Oh, look, I can put a disc in there and play.
Yeah, it's an upgrade. You put a disc in there for the new version of the software that purifies the air.
Air purifying software.
Yeah.
By the way, completely separately, I'm going to play this game on the TV.
It's nothing connect. This is my old PlayStation in the back. Just it looks like it's wired to this, but it's not. It's fine. It's not this. Anyway, the hype for the release is pretty high. Unfortunately, many scalpers, blah blah blah. Meanwhile, someone who already had their hands on the console, another storm is brewing. Their wives storm. Likewise, a man from Taiwan tried to trick his wife into thinking the PS5 was an air purifier for their home. And honestly, if she had never seen one, didn't know what it was for, and had no idea what was going on, it looks like a Sony branded air purifier.
It does. I would have gotten away with it too if it weren't for those pesky kids.
Oh, I love this story so much.
My pesky aunt coming over and saying, "That's a PS5."
It says this little ruse worked out at first. However, there was an incident where a rat died inside their home. The plot thickens. Sadly, the PlayStation 5 can only do so much with its latest gen hardware in terms of gaming. With its non-air purifying features, the console did nothing to mask the smell of the rat.
Foiled by Crash Bandicoot.
Yep. The former Sony mascot, now multi-platform hero, Crash Bandicoot, gets revenge.
Right. Because, wow, it's not masking the smell of the dead rat. Must not be an air purifier.
Yep. By the way, I hear that's a very good game, that new Crash Bandicoot game. Not the remake, but the standalone brand new thing is supposed to be like a legit good platformer.
Really?
Really well reviewed, yeah.
Cool.
It's on everything too, so you don't have to get a PlayStation for that.
I don't have to have a PS5 for it. Okay.
Yeah, you can get it on Xbox. You can get it on.
Is it on
Switch.
PS4?
It's on the Switch, the PlayStation 4, I believe.
Switch?
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
Yeah, they got it on the PC there.
Listen, I'm all Shadowlands all the time. I haven't even been able to finish my final eventual completion of BioShock Infinite.
Yeah,
which I will infinitely never finish.
Yeah. For Brian, that infinite part of the title means something special to Brian. It means unlimited.
Yes, it does. Exactly.
All right, so that guy's pretty funny. Well done to that guy. Also in the news, we got some science in the news. Bobby, if you're listening, maybe you'll come on and clarify this, but the NOAA scientists have discovered a new species of a gelatinous animal in the waters near Puerto Rico. I'm going to play that.
Puerto Rico.
I'm sorry, I have to play it.
We are also praying.
Oh, this isn't it. Hold on.
I think that's it, because doesn't it say we're also praying for Puerto Rico?
Yeah, but where's the one where he just says it by itself? Is this it?
We are also.
No.
Puerto Rico.
I have two of them.
Puerto Rico.
Gosh dang. Freaking obnoxious.
It's like listening to Steve Martin as Inspector Clouseau trying to pronounce cheeseburger.
Speaking of which,
whatever it
you know
was.
that old album, like when we were kids, of Steve Martin on the front with bunny ears on and the white suit?
Yeah. Wild and Crazy. Was it Wild and Crazy Guy or
that might be the title. I forget.
Yeah. Anyway,
if you open up the album, the actual record album, it folds out into like a full size Steve Martin, just sort of on mic. Anyway, I see this thing in the house yesterday. Like, what the crap is this doing here? I haven't seen it for.
The album? You're seeing like you found the album in the house?
Yeah, the album and the cover are just sitting there with the with the record in the sleeve. And I'm like, what the crap is this? She goes, oh, Nick found it at a pawn shop or something and thought it was cool. So my son is all about this right now. He loves like in his head, vintage is late 70s and all 80s. And so he sees anything from that era and he's into it. Or something like the Seinfeld, the Kramer painting, you know?
Oh, yeah.
He spent weeks trying to hunt one of those down. Like, I don't know what's going on.
It's like a poster you can buy at Hot Topics still, probably.
Is it? Oh, I didn't even know.
Or Spencer's, yeah.
He was acting like it was all hard to find. So he found one, hangs on his wall now. Now he's going to hang this thing up. He doesn't even want to hear the album. He doesn't care so much about that. He just wants to have Steve Martin all folded up on his wall. So anyway, just a weird thing. He's all hipstery about stuff that I just grew up with. So
yeah. I have a great new, like, I like hanging shit on the walls too. And it's probably cropped out of frame, but I have this thing now that I put up over here on my wall above my Red on Air light.
Yeah.
Which is a mention of the Red on Air light that's not about the Red on Air light.
Of course.
But it's it's like a really cool album frame that you can like keep multiple albums in. So I can, take that album out. I don't know if you've got it so that you can see what's going on here or whatever. But
I don't have that much. Well, let me see.
Okay, that's all right. That's all right.
Oh, there it is. Okay, yeah, I can see it.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, look at you. You got your little Dewey Decimal System over there for albums.
That's right. I can put another album in there, close it up, and now I've got a different album.
It's nice.
Up there. Yeah.
Which ones do you keep handy? Like, is it a set number? Or is it just whatever?
I'm trying to do it because that part does show up when I do Coverville, so I'm trying to keep it to be an album of whoever the focus of Coverville is. But if it's not, if it's a band or artist that I don't know or that I don't have any vinyl for, then I'll just put in one of my favorite albums like Paul Carrick's One Good Reason or Aha's first album or Squeeze RG Bargy or things like that.
Oh, nice. So like, that's a nice added, I don't know. It's another reason to watch Coverville is what I'm saying, everybody.
Yeah, exactly. See what album I have on my wall today.
Yep. Not just an audio podcast anymore.
Because I don't have enough random garbage strewn about behind me.
Yeah.
I need more.
This story about this gooey creature in Puerto Rico is actually kind of boring. I just want people to see it.
Oh, sorry. Yeah.
No. Totally. It's actually just sort of a boring story.
Does it look like Ted Cruz?
No. No, he still looks like the California
blobfish
killer guy or whatever.
The Son of Sam.
Or whatever it
or
was.
the Zodiac.
Zodiac.
That's right, yeah.
And the grandpa from the Munsters. But anyway.
Totally does.
It's a brand new thing. I just think it's interesting when we find new shit, and this thing looks like I don't know. It's kind of a nice little.
It looks like a Solosis from Pokemon Generation 5.
It kind of does.
We've discovered a new Pokemon.
Add him to the Codex or the Pokedex rather.
The Pokedex.
Get it straight, Johnson. All right, we're going to take a break. When we come back, our good pal Justin Robert Young will be here, and we'll hang out with him for a little bit and talk about where we are in this transition period.
There's no politics to talk about anymore, is there? It's all done.
Well,
politics are done.
I honestly do wonder how much, or what does Jury's stuff sound like
right now
after
post election,
and maybe it won't change at all. Maybe I don't know. I don't know. It's not like It's not like Trump's people are going to go anywhere, that there won't be controversial issues, that there isn't big weird stuff in the Senate and things like that. So it's not like he, won't have content. But I just wonder if I don't know. I just wonder. It's a thing to wonder about, Brian. Let's wonder together.
I wonder. Well, he'll answer that question. We'll find out.
We'll find out right after this song that Brian will now present.
Yeah, let's talk about a brand new album coming from the band Maximo Park. It's called Nature Always Wins. It comes out at the end of February on Prolifica Inc. Records. And I'm digging the 3 songs that I've gotten as a tease from this album. These guys are great. And kind of also in that same power pop, straightforward rock, Cheap Trick kind of stuff like I played yesterday. So if you liked yesterday, you'll probably like today's as well. The video that goes along with this is actually really cool too. So check it out. Maximo Park is the name of the band. The song is called I Don't Know What I'm Doing. Comes out from their new album, which is coming out the end of February. Here is Maximo Park.
What is it that's sort of puckering and sucking at the back of my head?
The witch's asshole.
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
Many Bothans died to bring you this information. This is the morning stream.
All right, we have returned. We have made our way back. Good time of the show for me to remind folks at home that if you like this show, head on over to patreon.com/TMS and show us your support. Great levels, cool stuff, things to get in the mail, digital rewards, and just a good old-fashioned feeling that you gave back to a thing you love. So go check it out. That's at patreon.com/TMS. All right. Justin's on his way in.
Cool.
You may remember him from such films as... I can't think of a good name, so I'm just not going to do it. So I'm going to play this instead.
These are their stories.
Oh, I'm terrible with names.
Justin Robert Young joins us as he does every Tuesday to discuss the world of politicking, and today's no different. Justin, welcome. Hi, how are you?
Hi, can you hear me?
Can hear you just fine.
Kind of quiet on my end, but
I can goose. I can goose.
Yeah, goose
it up a little bit.
How's that?
Don't goose it like Andrew McCarthy.
Is that good?
Yeah, it's much better. Yeah, don't be like Goose himself from Top Gun because he died.
No, God, no, he died.
Yeah, he died.
Spoiler alert
Yeah.
for Goose.
He died. He not only died, but he left a distraught Meg Ryan at a piano at one point. And
Totally, yes.
that was
That's
rough.
true.
Rough.
She
business.
lost that love and feeling.
Yeah. Do you think she shows up in the new Top Gun if we ever get it? I wonder if that.
She's our new Top Gun instructor.
All right, so there's I love this class of movies, The Summer That Never Was.
Yeah.
That is like if you walk by a movie theater, at least one that out here in California they never really opened, or at least like the Regal around me never opened.
Yeah.
And so there is just like frozen in carbonite, The Summer That Never Happened. And it's like Black Widow and Wonder Woman, this Ryan Reynolds movie where he's a video game character.
New guy.
The Soul, the Pixar movie. But
Yeah.
it's just, I always walk by and it's just, and Top Gun, I think, is one of them. But yeah, the Summer That Never Happened, just forever frozen there. God knows whether or not the movie theater is ever going to open again.
Yeah. Well, there had a particular effect on you and yours because you guys usually run a summer movie draft, and what was the point in that this year? There is no.
We
movie
couldn't.
draft.
Yeah,
Yeah.
there was no movies that were out, and it's like even if we wanted to do it, there's no reporting mechanism on like any of the movies that come out on VOD.
Yeah.
Like they don't have to report that. They report if they have good news, and even then you don't even know exactly how it's going.
Yeah. So it's a weird thing. Of course, obviously, winter movie draft in the same boat, right? Can't really gauge it. Like, how are you going to gauge it? Theaters
Or a winter streaming movie draft.
Yeah, the top movies are coming out. I mean, Wonder Woman. As soon as Wonder Woman came out on HBO Max, like that was, I think, a tipping point. Really, the only real major holdout now is the Marvel stuff.
Yeah,
that's pretty much it.
Yeah,
right. Will they succumb and just say, "All right, we'll flop onto Disney for
apparently,
the first quarter."
yeah. What they're banking on, I guess, is like they're full steam ahead on their TV stuff. So they're pushing. They're going to really push like WandaVision. They're going to push
Winter Soldier and Falcon.
Winter Soldier and Falcon, and then like when movie theaters come back, they'll be there to lead the charge. But to be honest, I think Black Widow is more important to the concept of movie theaters than it is Marvel.
To Marvel.
Like,
yeah, right. It's gonna get people back into theaters. I'm with you on that.
Although,
that is that. Like the theaters need this probably more because Marvel, like if Marvel puts it on Disney Plus, then maybe they make the kind of money and I'm sure they've got their own bottom line, but it's like they will culturally be on the same place as where a lot of the things that we love the most are. So they will be fine.
Right.
It would be an exciting thing for Black Widow, let's say third tier, a Marvel movie to be on a platform like that. But for theaters, that's like backbreaking. Like what else gets people into the theaters now?
Yeah. Yeah. And I wonder, I mean, in both cases, in Wonder Woman and what was the other one? Crap.
Dune,
no, Dune got pushed a year, which saddens me to no end. But
the Ghostbusters movie got put. It was supposed to be.
Yeah,
maybe that's what I'm thinking of. But
this year.
But in the case of Wonder Woman, they're going to do a theatrical opener on Christmas Day as well as the HBO Max thing.
Yeah, yeah.
I mean, what is
That's
that?
probably just for Oscars, so that we can say, "Hey, can we get the best special effects since we have no competition right now?"
Oh yeah. I mean, part of it, I'm sure, is that. Although God knows what even happens with the Oscars, I think at this point they're just going to do the Oscars the way that they have in the past, and maybe do special allowances for things about in terms of theater distribution. But I was joking with Romney Malco, who put out a great movie, Tijuana Jackson, Purpose Over Prison, this year, that he needed, like, this was the time for him to push for an Oscar because he's going to be one of 7 movies that come out. It's like him, Trolls World Tour, and God knows what else.
Right.
Yeah, it's such a weird thing. What's also weird about it, there's an irony here. And not in a Alanis Morissette sort of irony, like an actual irony.
An actual irony.
Where this is a year where there's no shortage of all of us finding entertainment. Like there's no shortage of us saying, boy, I sure wish I could distract I got to distract myself from this COVID business. I sure wish there was something to do with my eyes and my hands. Video games, movies, streaming everything. Like, there's an unending supply and stuff you'll never catch up on in a million years available to you at your fingertips relatively simply. And yet that part of the industry, the one that awards itself, the one that does the traditional sort of look how much money it made in theaters and we've broken a new record, all of that stuff is just like couldn't look worse. That looks so bad. But over here, it's just killing it. It's just such a weird juxtaposition, those two.
I was watching the most recent episode of The Mandalorian. I won't go into any spoilers, but there is a big one of those big pregnant pause moments where a character is named that now you know is part of this universe, and I was like, now's the time for Disney to overcast that. Like, get like Brad Pitt, like just like an absolute A-list person for that role. Yeah. Because like honestly, what else are they gonna do? Like if you were a Matt Damon, if you were a Brad Pitt, if you were a Leonardo DiCaprio, it's gonna be like 2 years before people see you in a movie again, right? Mm-hmm. So, or at least in the big screen, if you could be in one of like in a cultural phenomenon, especially if you also do science fiction-y kind of stuff, like now's the time. I'm sure they're gonna go with whatever, somebody who's been on TV and is beloved or was in the cartoon or something like that, like they did with Katie Sackhoff. But like, God, I would love if you just got like Kenneth Branagh or like Al Pacino or something, just way overcast it.
Well, are there any actors out there we can think of, prominent actors who already have very blue skin? Let's see.
I'm sure Rebecca Romaine Stamos probably still has some Mystique stain on her.
I'm sure Rooker hasn't washed it all off yet, so.
Rooker could do it. That's not a spoiler, by the way, everybody. That's just
Zoe Saldana maybe still has some.
That's just spoiler adjacent. What I just did.
Yeah, she has blue and green from
That's true.
Both Avatar and Guardians of the Galaxy.
Well, it'll be an interesting thing. Like what they actually do award season is I don't care about the actual awards at all this year. I care about what this looks like. Like, what the heck are they gonna do? Just from like a gawker at the side of the road kind of perspective, how do you turn this into something resembling what you usually do? And do you even need to? Should you? I mean, they canceled the entire Olympics, for hell's sakes. You can't get more, tradition breaking than that. Would it kill us if we didn't have the Oscars one year? But then part of me wants to see what the hell they make of it.
Well, but the Olympics is a different thing because that's a massive gathering event from all over the world.
Right.
Like the Oscars, if they do it like the Emmys, is literally just setting up a bunch of webcams in stars' homes so they can jump up and down if they win a thing, right?
Yeah.
The question is exactly who qualifies, and if this is, if it's 8 movies that are all up for these all these awards, because
every category.
Yeah.
All right. Well, our nominations, the nominations, we've said them all night. There are nominated films. They're all nominated in every category.
Trolls World Tour. Trolls World Tour. From
please.
Trolls World Tour.
No.
And finally, Trolls World Tour.
They should give it to Onward, because Onward came out in theaters and is infinitely exponentially better than Trolls World Tour. So there's your best picture category, your everything category, is that Pixar movie. It was only in theaters for like 2 weeks.
Soul's going to come out, and apparently Soul's really, really good.
Yeah,
so
I've heard amazing things. And
that
hits Disney
might not
Plus.
even be the best Pixar movie that comes out this year.
And so we here at the Johnson House, we like the Christmas Day go see a movie tradition. We do it every year.
Yep.
And this year, hearing that both Wonder Woman and Soul were going to be day and date on those 2 streaming services, and that we can watch them here on our own little sound system, on our own TV, in our little basement theater room thing, made our Christmas better. Because we were bummed out that we weren't going to be able to do this tradition. And now it feels like we're at least going to get the newness of the tradition, which is seeing a new movie we haven't seen yet or whatever. So we're pretty stoked about that. And I'm glad
have to be in the theater. Yeah.
Glad they're doing it. And we'll make our own damn popcorn, and that bathroom will be a lot cleaner. And,
and the popcorn, the drinks won't cost you an arm and a leg.
Exactly.
I honestly wonder what's gonna I think theaters are gonna kind of go away. Honestly, like I think that
you'll get some boutique theater. Like I think you're probably right. I think the era of the big theater chains might come crashing down because of this. But I think your Alamo Draft Houses and things like that, where it's a smaller, they don't have as many locations to have to pay for as an AMC or a Regal, probably services the people.
I really think that the people that are going to get hurt are the rural communities, or places where you had to drive an hour and a half to get to a theater, because I think those are the ones that are going to go away. Like if you're living in a city where that was the first time that I realized that I had grown up in a big town was when I went to college and there were only 2 theaters as opposed to 5 or 6. And I was like, oh my God, that's not everywhere. Everywhere doesn't have 6 theaters and have like a few theaters that are just for independent movies.
Right.
Like what is this craziness? But I think, and even then it's like, that's a big town for the vast majority of the country. So I think those are the people that I think are really going to get hurt. But then again, what we have now is the over the top solution where you're going to get more directly to your television. So maybe there's less of a pain point there.
Yeah, it's all just weird is all. And I think people were predicting the demise of theater megaplex chain stuff for years, well before this. This just maybe is an accelerant. I don't know. We'll have to see. More importantly, though, hey, politics, right? Let's just address the chicken in the hen house here. We got how many days till Trump goes, and were you any closer to any kind of sort of like
concession?
Formal, not concession, but like a formal I'm leaving. I guess that's a concession. Just not the traditional one, right? There's no speech.
I'm leaving would be untraditional.
I'm leaving.
What do you want? Like what are you looking for? And I will give you a how likely that is.
Okay, so here's what I'm looking for.
Give me your fantasy. So,
okay.
so
my
the,
fantasy.
the clouds part. A peaceful Scott Johnson drifts off to sleep. Wee, 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 wee. And now the clouds part. And what is the dream that you see?
I like that you gave me the Muppet version of sleeping. That's
Yeah.
pretty good. Okay, here's what I want. Here's my fantasy. It's not a big fantasy. There's no bells and whistles really. I just want I don't know how this I'm trying to think about how I want it versus how it'll work, and I got to stop doing that. I just got to think about how I want it. So here's what
How do you want it?
Here's how I want it.
I'll give you the handicap on how close, how likely your dream is.
Okay, here's what I want. For him to be super depressed about it and just stop tweeting. So he just stops tweeting.
You want it to hurt, basically.
Yeah, kind of. Well, I mean, what I want is the result of that. I just want him to feel the defeat and stop tweeting all the time and riling up people who might do crazy things, and just lock himself in there. And that's all he has to do. He doesn't even have to shake his hand.
In the White House?
Yeah, and it doesn't have to be that. It doesn't have to have that time where the new first couple shows up and they do all their greetings and gift exchanges and all that bullshit like they did last time at every time that I'm aware of. They don't have to do any of that. I don't want any of that. Just have him lock himself in there, and then when it's time to go, you don't even know when he left. It's just like in the middle of the night, a car took off, and he's out. Like, just be gone.
It's basically like the night before you take possession of the new apartment on the 1st. It's like, oh, I guess the old residents have already gone. They cleaned up and they just left. Might have been the 29th. Might have been the 30th. Who
Sure.
knows?
There's like a little piece of paper in the corner of the room, and there's maybe a leftover ketchup bottle in the fridge, but otherwise,
Wi-Fi password on a sticky note on the door.
Yeah, and then you're just left with, all right, let's go. Let's start moving our stuff in and get in the house in order. Like, I want to get there, and I don't need any concession. I don't need any kind of I don't even need him to. I mean, I'd love it if he found it within his stone cold, disgusting heart to wish well the nation moving forward and his successor moving forward, whether or not he agrees with anything. Just let that happen. But if not, then just don't say anything. Just don't say anything. Just it's going to happen anyway, so just go and be gone. That's my fantasy. Be gone.
Okay. Number one, it's a very, very, very detailed fantasy for something that you don't want to exist. There's a lot of making fun of the girl you have a crush on vibes that come along with just be gone from my life. I'm thinking so much about you. Be gone. I don't like you. Be gone. That being said, there are signs that, well, at least in terms of the actual gears of government moving, it seems very, very likely that at least in terms of the federal government's transition, there really is not much officially that is kind of different than the way that this would normally be. Optically, it is obviously extraordinarily different because you have a president who has not conceded and is still challenging elements of the election. One by one, these states are certifying their votes. Georgia will likely certify it this week. I believe it was Pennsylvania and Wisconsin that certified, or no, Arizona that certified theirs over the last several days. So we are at a point now where, barring a flipping of the certification or some kind of crazy fan fiction scenario with the electors, this is happening. Yeah. However, Scott, what I would ask of you, because as John Lennon and Yoko Ono said, war is over if you want it. This is, I understood back when he was the president and they were running for he was running for re-election, that you might feel that it is your civic duty to pay attention to Donald Trump's every musing on Twitter, but you can just block him and mute his name.
Oh,
and
I've
you
done
would
that.
Probably eliminate 80% of it.
I've done that. I don't have him. I don't follow him and haven't for months, and he's muted. So every time anybody says anything, it's muted. So I've already done that. My thing isn't that I can't quit him or whatever that is.
I wish
I
I
mean,
could
you
quit
could have
you.
fooled me.
What I'm saying is, no. This to me it's this simple. When I may not follow him or whatever, but I still hear about some of the stuff that's happening. So the Flynn pardon, a guy who admitted to the FBI that he lied and somehow he gets pardoned. And I understand presidential pardons are just that, but this one's real screwy. And also yelling things like, "This is a giant hoax. This is a giant hoax. It's nothing but a hoax," does nothing but rile up people that are willing to do terrible things for their Lord and Master. That part,
like what?
Shoot somebody, show up at a place and
So they've
like
shot people?
like those psychos that were going to kidnap the Michigan mayor, and they had a plan B, which was shoot up the
sure. Like, look, I'm not saying that there's not loons out there. There are loons.
But that's what
out
I'm saying.
there. And
I
there were
get him
loons
out of there
before,
so he
during,
can-
and after the Donald Trump presidency. There will continue to be loons.
Yeah, but they're loonier when the leader of the free world is encouraging you, and you feel emboldened by that. You have to admit that's different than just being loony, right?
I mean, I guess we at this point we kind of exit the conversation. The conversation that I would like to have from that prompt gets away from Donald Trump's specific odiousness, and we get into a far more broad conversation of exactly how much the federal government can agitate a locality, for which I would say that we probably saw more agitation of people going crazy and doing like actually violent, horrifying things in the like Oklahoma City bombing, Waco, Ruby Ridge era than we have recently, at least. But that's a more general thing where I think what you would like is that we have more of a conversation about Trump's specific odiousness, right?
Yeah. Well, I mean, I guess what I'm saying is, yes, those factors exist. Yes, we still have those problems. Yes, societal issues, but I would just really like the top guy to not be encouraging it. That's all. So when he's out, he can no longer encourage it from that vantage point. He can now only encourage it as a citizen and former president.
Which is effectively what's happening now. I mean, again, the thing that I say on the show all the time is that there is no power but future power. Donald Trump is effectively powerless now. Like the stuff that he can do now is like pardoning Flynn, which there was like a procedural issue. He probably would have done that months ago if it weren't for the fact that there was like a procedural issue of whether or not if he pardoned him on this, that he would have got rung up on some other charge, or that they were going to dismiss the charge and then the judge held it up. So he probably would have pardoned Flynn months ago. The stuff, anything that he can do now, look, if we're worried about his influence on America, that's not going to go away, or at least the influence to the granular level that you are talking about, that's not going to go away. He's going to keep doing it. So either if part of your vexing is that he is continuing to talk and yell and say things that you think is harmful, then that's not going to change over the next 4 years / until he dies. He's probably still going to be out there yelling stuff, and I'll guarantee you that all this posturing by like the Brian Stelters of the world on CNN, that talking about like, you know, how the diminished influence of Donald Trump on their coverage, as the child of an alcoholic, I've seen that scene before. I've watched that bottle of booze get poured down the kitchen sink. Like, it didn't matter at the end of the day. A dependency is a dependency, and they are going to have somebody down at Mar-a-Lago listening to every crazy thing that he says, specifically if he keeps hinting that he's going to run in 2024.
No, I agree. All of that's true. He just won't be sitting at the head of the table for now, and that's all I'm fantasizing about. Is there is a change in how influential you can be when you're down, when the power is down, and then also history starts to form and people start to go, interesting. All right, well, there's 3 new documentaries, and all of these are behind the scenes stuff we didn't know about. And pretty soon we're now starting to form an idea about a guy who no longer has that power. And yeah, he may try to run 4 years, and heaven help us if that dude ever is reelected. But the point is, like, you're not doing it from a seat of power. That makes a difference to me, because a seat of power matters. If you're a parent and you're telling your kid to do something shitty, then you're a shitty parent. If you're a president and you're telling people to do something shitty, you're a shitty president. Like it's to me, it scales, and there's a responsibility to do well in your whatever your stewardship is. And I know he's never been that guy. I understand that, and that represents other ills and problems and whatever. But what I'm saying is, just like in that parent-child relationship, we need the parent out of there. We need the kid to be in good custody. We need the kid to go back to.
Yeah, I think we're beyond that particular point. What I'm focusing on is your mental health.
Well, you shouldn't be, because
I want you to be better. I would have thought you would be better.
I will be better. I absolutely.
You are just as keyed up now as you were right before the election.
It's because he won't freaking stop, and when he stops,
he
and
won't
I mean
ever stop.
Stops,
that's what I'm saying.
Hold
he
on.
will never stop.
Stops in the capacity in which he currently occupies. When that ends, when he is no longer the president of the United States, and all the things that are afforded to him as protections, when that's done, then I won't give two shits about what he says at his stupid golf club. I don't care.
Because there's no chance that in 5 years he's not going to keep claiming that this election was a fraud. He should have been president. He should have won.
Dude, he would have claimed it was a fraud if he
just
had
won't
won.
have
I will just say X to doubt.
I'm not actually that fired up about it. I just am counting the days, because I just need this transition to happen and be done and move on. The country needs to move on and try to make sense of itself without
all
him in
for
charge.
Move on. Let's move on. Let's talk about. We have Biden cabinet picks to talk about. We have the battle for the Georgia Senate to talk about. You said you wondered what the podcast would sound like. It is still available, for the record, so people can still listen to. If you were wondering,
an easy way to find out.
Yeah. So I'm very glad that you haven't listened to the podcast, but I just want, if you do want to listen to the podcast, it is still available. It's coming out twice a week still. But there's plenty of politics to talk about. I did not come on here looking to talk about Donald Trump. You wanted to talk about Donald Trump.
Well, wait, you asked me what my fantasy was about him
No,
leaving.
you started going on about, you said, well, what's going to happen and about Trump. And I asked you what your fantasy was so I could match it to what I know about the situation as of now. And then we got into this whole other thing because you started the conversation about Donald Trump, and specifically about how you don't care about Donald Trump, which is why we need to talk about Donald Trump at the beginning of the Donald Trump segment. I mean, the politics segment.
No, I understand what you're saying. I could have made it a lot simpler just by saying, I'll be glad when he's out and he's not president anymore. That's it.
That's fully reasonable.
Yeah,
fully reasonable.
That's right where I'm at. I'll be happier that day than I am about it
today. We want to talk about the cabinet? Do we want to talk about the Senate?
I don't know.
There's a new coronavirus bipartisan bill. We have a number on it.
Yeah? How's that look?
Yeah. Less than $1 trillion, so the Democrats probably won't go for it.
What does that mean for regular old Americans, though? If it's $1 trillion, what do we all get? We get like a couple $100. Like, what's
I don't believe that there's any direct payments. I think it's more to the Paycheck Protection Program and stuff like that.
Okay. So freelancers like us, we're screwed. We're just.
Oh yeah, no. $288 billion for the Paycheck Protection Program. Vaccine distribution and development and coronavirus testing, $16 billion. Healthcare relief, $35 billion. Education, $82 billion. Postal service, $10 billion. But no direct payments. It is under $1 trillion. That is about $8 or $9 billion lower, or $900 billion lower than where the White House wanted to put it. Nancy Pelosi has so far not wanted to budge under $2.2 trillion.
Interesting. That's a lot of money. Holy crap.
The initial House bill, the Democratic House bill was $4 trillion. And so
that is so much money.
Pelosi said that she was making a grand gesture by bringing it down to $2.2 trillion. And thus far, this $908 billion COVID stimulus proposal, which is bipartisan. It's Joe Manchin and Susan Collins, a lot of the people that were skeptics of the current inhabitant of the White House during his tenure, and some of the more what passes for more conservative Democrats are kind of the first people to go along with it.
Yeah. Real quick, I need to call out something that was just said in the chat because I don't understand this. TW Tree says, why does Scott let Trump define him? So weird. He doesn't define me or anything around me. Okay? I can have an opinion about the guy and think he's a rotting piece of shit, but it doesn't mean that he defines me. There's a lot of things that define me, and he's not it. So, TW
He's
Tree.
all shit rotting.
Or FW Tree, you either don't know me, which is likely the case.
Y'all don't know me.
Or you're trolling. So either get to know me or don't troll me. That's my new thing. All right?
Wow.
Okay.
It even rhymes. And when things rhyme,
they're always better when they rhyme.
They're always true. They're always effective.
Well, all right. This and the Georgia business and the all that.
Oh, yeah,
all of that stuff's coming up. So make sure you're checking out Jerry's show because he'll talk about all those things. Trump be damned. There's plenty more to cover in the world of politics. Justin, anything in particular you would like people to apply their ears to this week?
I think that members of the TMS Nation, Frog Pants Nation, you would all very, very, very well, I think, cotton to the new PX3 show that's going to come out at around midnight tonight leading into Wednesday, because it will be the first time that a three-person panel will unite. And I think, Scott, specifically, this is very much up your alley. These other two people, as frustrating as I am on Tuesdays, I think these other two people will be very, very, very much up your alley. That is Andrew Heaton and Jen Briney. Andrew Heaton of the Political Orphanage and Jen Briney of Congressional Dish. They are both exceptionally funny and smart and engaging. We've had a great response whenever I've had either of them on PX3. And now for the first time, we all gather together as a unit, talk about Biden's cabinet picks and what we can expect going forward. But I had a great time chatting with them, and that's going to go live on the PX3 show on Wednesday. So you can find that at politicspolitics.com.
Then that is a worthy use of your time. So go check it out.
Cool.
Justin Robert Young. I'm going to play this before I forget.
The jury will now retire.
Have a fantastic week. We'll see you next time. All right.
You remember to play it before he left.
I know. I look. I can only get humiliated only so many Tuesdays on my memory. So I didn't want to do it again. See.
I would have done it for you, man. I would have said it.
You're always there for me, and I understand that. But
I got you. I back you up.
Today I'm on the thing. All right. Hey, we're done, except a quick note. The Boop Show, which was meant for Monday, was supposed to happen, didn't happen. We had a last-minute thing come up and weren't able to do it. So we're doing it today at 3:30 Mountain Time. So for all those who are like, what happened to our thing? It's happening. So Dunaway and I, today at 3:30. And then next Tuesday, same thing, because he's got some soccer thing with his kids on Monday. So for today and next Tuesday, that's going to be the days for the Boop Show, but back to Mondays after that. So just letting you guys know, today 3:30. Come and check us out at frogpants.tv. For everything else, frogpants.com/TMS. And if you're trying to email us like Jeff did earlier in the show, you can do that real easily. Just use your email program of choice and send it to themorningstream@gmail.com. Brian, that's it.
Yes, sir.
We're done. Let's get out of here. And before doing so, let's play a song. Do you have one?
I do. Lewis wrote in. I think it's Lewis or Louis wrote in and said, "Hi, it'll be my birthday on December 1st. That's today. And I'd love it if you could play a cover for me anytime around that date. Recently, I've stumbled across Puddle's Pity Party and have been listening to many of his covers. If you can, anything by the 7-foot sad clown would be great. Many thanks."
Nice.
Well, sure. Happy to do that because I also am a fan of Puddle's Pity Party. I think this might have been the first or second thing I ever heard from him because it was a Postmodern Jukebox song that featured him on vocals. It wasn't just him alone. It was him as a guest vocalist for Postmodern Jukebox. It goes all the way back to 2013. 7 years of Puddle's Pity Party I've been enjoying.
Wow.
This is a cover, as I mentioned, of or by Postmodern Jukebox featuring Puddle's Pity Party of the song by Lorde. Here is Royals.
See you guys tomorrow. This show is part of the Frog Pants Network.
Frog Pants Network.
Get more shows like this at frogpants.com.
Don't care about no bandage-wrapped mummy.
All right.